Hi, I'm sitting here with Mr. Lance Kidwell and Ms. Christina Rosenberg, and they were students who both went on the Study Abroad to London program this fall, 2013. And so they had a few things that they wanted to talk about, and we kind of shaped them into two guiding questions. The first one of which was if you guys could please talk about your favorite part of the Study Abroad program in London. Christina.
I think my favorite part about the Study Abroad program is going to London. This program gave me the ability to travel overseas, which would be a lot more difficult if I were to go on my own. It gave me a place to live, a place to study, opportunities to go places, and to learn a lot more about what is out there in the world besides where I live right now. If it wasn't for the trip, I probably wouldn't have seen a lot and thought a lot about what I have learned across the ocean.
I think mine was probably the fact that there were museums everywhere and they were all free, and so when I was taking an art history class, for example, we would have our class period at a museum of art of some sort or another and get hands-on experience with things that you just can't do in California. Only London has these things, and just all the things the empire has conquered and stolen and pilfered from everywhere. And to have that all in one location and to be around that, and it's all free.
So what were some of your favorite pieces of art?
No, that's a good question. We went to a lot of places. I did know we saw a few Michelangelos, and I gotta separate this from Florence. Let's see. Mithras slaying the bull was this giant marble sculpture in, I think it was the British Museum. Pretty sure, it was the closest one. And then the allegory of Aphrodite, I think, was another one that I had to do a very lengthy write-up on, but it was beautiful and just very well done.
Okay, and Christina, what were your the favorite things that you actually got to see in person?
Well, in person, when we went through Parliament, when the program let us go through Parliament, I was in awe. I pretty much didn't blink so I could absorb everything in there. I loved all the paintings that were there, the different rooms that symbolized, what they did, like the Queen's throne, the different colors that represented like the common folk and the nobility, and it was just amazing. And seeing the Queen's throne, it was beautiful, crazy, beautiful. And when I was at St. Paul's Cathedral, everything, just so much coming to my head, I can just run along for every second. Going to street markets, just so much, I can't even start. It's so cool.
Yeah. Oh, and so can you talk about a little bit about the diversity in London?
I think that is why I would recommend it, actually, to any student that has the financial capabilities, definitely. I mean, even if you don't, I would recommend doing it and digging the hole, because it's that awesome. But I think the important thing with education is getting your hands into as many different fields as you possibly can, and London is, I think, a bigger melting pot than even America. And in one city you have over 200 languages spoken, all kinds of different little Bangla town, and there's just so much to offer there in multiculturalism and diversity, cuisine, that somebody from the States, that's all you need to go to.
So you were talking about the street markets. So can you elaborate on those a little bit?
Camden Town, Portobello Road, Columbia Road Flower Market. Just being able to go to these street markets that have a free market system where you can go barter and trade and see so many different cultures coming together to sell something to you. And Camden Town was my favorite because every time I went there, which is like 4 or 5 times, and every time I went, I found something different. From clothing to blankets, throw blankets that I keep in my room now, jewelry, more clothing, food. Food. My sister told me about Punk Square, which is where all the punk and rockers go to buy their all their beautiful, beautiful pieces of clothing and jewelry. Oh my God, that's what I love a lot about going there. And even though I wasn't supposed to, I bought a lot of flowers from the flower market, and just how they try to sell them to you and how much of a lively environment it is. And Portobello Road from Bedknobs and Broomsticks was just like jumping out of a movie. And if I could, I'd just go there I went there every weekend, every opportunity I got. And those souvenirs I got there, I would keep for lifelong treasures.
And so you mentioned that the experience of the diversity is one of the primary reasons that you'd recommend for students to go there. Are there any other reasons why you'd recommend the program? You feel there are things perhaps that you learned there that you couldn't have learned elsewhere?
Well, I think one of my other favorite things about London was, while taking the philosophy course, London has just a patina of its own, where you're casually walking down the street with some idea floating through your head, and you glance up on a wall and there's a little blue plaque that says, George Orwell lived here for 2 years while writing this, that, or the other thing. And these are everywhere, and so all these amazing, inspiring people have come to be there, and it was really something to be a part of that.
Great. Well, got to cut us off because my computer is running out of space, so thank you guys both